The Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Quite a mouthful. We're just going to say ASI from now on. But that's what this video is going to be about, certainly given all the turmoil that is currently taking place with this project. Now, ASI, the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, we'll only say that once more so everyone knows what we're talking about when we say ASI, is essentially a project, a crypto AI project that is made up of a consortium of crypto AI and kind of deep in plays that is looking to challenge the likes of Google and some of the other centralized AI offerers out there. And it's done a marvelous job thus far. But when they kind of became a conglomerate and introduced all these projects and switched to the ASI token, and the bridging, I believe, is still taking place, there was some criticism and there was perhaps some rightful concerns in regards to how all of this was going to work. And on Thursday, there was a kind of break in this alliance with Ocean Protocol, which I believe was very data-centric. They were kind of a deep in data kind of play. They've decided they want to break away, and there's been a lot of accusations of foul play, Ocean dumping the ASI token, so on and so forth. And I really want to uncover that because this is really news, recent news. It happened on the 9th of October. I think this was largely overshadowed by the largest ever liquidation event that we saw. But what we want to do with you guys is sort of uncover it, and then we'll leave you with a little bit of good news in regards to the FET token, or the ASI token, which of course is getting a 21 shares ETP, a kind of exchange traded product. But ASI, to be totally open, honest and transparent, is my largest AI holding in the cryptocurrency space. I too had some skepticism in regards to how it was going to be facilitated under the kind of conglomerate that it became. I was a FET holder pre, and then an ASI token holder, I guess, post. But there is some fragmentation taking place. But I want to say this before I continue. I still do believe in the idea of a crypto-enabled AI project that can compete with some of the centralized models out there. And they have working projects. As far as I'm aware, this really hasn't affected anything other than the token price. There will be a change in tokenomics on the back end of this. There's a new project getting released next week. Please, guys, if you can at Humion or some of the other individuals, let's get them on the show and let's get them on here to answer some of your questions. Let's go over to the Artificial Superintelligence's X account, so the ASI Alliance. From the board of directors of Superintelligence Alliance Limited. On the 9th of October 2025, Ocean Protocol Foundation Limited, Ocean, issued to the board of directors of the company its notice of removal of appointed member directors and a resignation as a member of the Superintelligence Limited. Ocean's noticed. Also on the 9th of October 2025, Ocean issued certain statements, Ocean's public statement, promoting the independent listing of the Ocean token on exchanges. These statements include Ocean's announcement that any exchanges that has delisted Ocean may assess whether they would like to relist the Ocean token. Now, there has been a conversion done. I don't know the full story in regards to Ocean and what they're trying to do. I'm going to try and stay neutral on this and just report on the news. But obviously, I think there has, certainly from the ASI team, been a lot of accusations in regards to wrongdoings and nothing publicly other than what I'm going to show you from the Ocean project. It says, a comment, the board is in the process of seeking legal advice as to the consequences of Ocean's conduct, and in particular Ocean's public statement and related actions, given the board's preliminary view that such conduct is in apparent breach of Ocean's contractual obligations owed to Fetch AI and SingularityNet, as well as to the aims of the company. In view of the fact that those actions have had a material and significant financial and reputational impact on the ASI community, amongst other aspects, there has been a negative impact on the token's price. It does not appear that Ocean and its directors have been acting in the best interests of the ASI community. I would say that's an understatement. And remember, I am an ASI holder, so this has all personally affected me. Quite a considerable one as well. And I know many of you are out there. I want to offer some positive news at the end, though. So the board intends to seek urgent, immediate confirmation from the Ocean as to its position, intentions, before making a final decision as to what should be done. In the interim, and as a matter of prudence and risk mitigation, the board will suspend the operations of the conversion bridge pending confirmation sought from Ocean and a final decision of the board. The board is also taking legal advice with the view to protect and pursue its legal rights, including obtaining restitution or compensation for the ASI community, and one of them, for any wrongful actions. Legal advice is also being sought as to whether the 110 million FET tokens, which have yet to be converted to the bridge, can be put to the ASI community to decide what should be done with these tokens, including burning them, or perhaps airdropping them to ASI members. I mean, it's entirely up to them. But this is the statement that I think this came out on the 13th. So this came out just this week on Monday. Brutal weekend. You can see why they perhaps might have waited for this. This is what Ocean put out on the 10th. To the entire Ocean and ASI community, we are eager to share more information about Ocean's departure from the ASI Alliance, to answer many of the valid questions by the community and respond forcefully to allegations raised, of which they haven't done so, by the way, thus far. We are, however, constrained from sharing the truth and facts at the moment. Please stand by while the process works its way through. And as soon as we can share more, we will. This is all we know so far. This is their account. You can see they're posting some stuff here. This is from Bruce Pon. He's the founder of Ocean Protocol, responding to Humyoung. He says, rather than spreading unfounded and baseless rumors that we have already proven to be false with our evidence in the legal proceedings, let's publicize the official findings and decide by the adjudicators for the community to see for themselves. If Fetch and Singularity agree, Ocean is prepared to waive confidentiality on the adjudicators' recent findings and let the community inspect and decide. Speak with your counsel and let me know if you want transparency for the entire 250,000 FET holders and 37,000 holders of Ocean. Ben Gertzer, your counsel will also need to confirm waiving confidential. And there's no reply to this. What I want to do is perhaps hear from Humyoung, who, of course, is the sort of brain behind Fetch AI. I've not heard anything from Singularity yet. Bruce, of course, was, and we're going to hear from Humyoung in just a second. Bruce, of course, was responding to Humyoung saying, Ocean's unilateral decision to exit the alliance without any prior warning or discussion has raised many questions that need to be answered. Absolutely. While a legal process is in place, in my personal capacity, I have following immediate questions, and I also urge the ASI and Ocean community to ask them. If Ocean were planning to leave the alliance, why did you convert all Ocean community reward tokens into bulk a few months ago? And there is speculation or accusations that they were actually dumping them. And I'm sure this is all going to come to light. This is going to be a story we're going to follow because this is huge. Considering Ocean confirmed more than a year ago that these tokens were community reward tokens controlled by the Ocean DAO, disclose who controls and who are signatories of the safe wallet named Ocean DAO. The tokens were dispersed to multiple wallets, which are apparently now owned, controlled by the Ocean Expedition. Disclosed how QE is managed and owned, where the community token's gone from there. It says, as Ocean has left the alliance, do they not agree that the right thing for them to do is return the community rewards. Fair? Yeah, I think so. So the community can decide what to do with them, i.e. burn them, redistribute, or lock them up, etc. The community deserves answers. And this was, of course, his reply to it. So we don't have the full ins and outs. We just have lots of accusations getting thrown around. We know that Ocean have now left. What I want to do is play a clip from an X space where Humyun comes out and essentially addresses it, and then we'll finish off on some good news for the ASI token. Let's dive into this.
Welcome, everyone. We just wanted to jump on the call because previous feedback has been that we take too long to get to the community, so I wanted to take the opportunity to speak to you guys as quickly as we can possibly. I think before we get on to the event itself, let's just look at what we did and why we did it. So if you're all aware of the alliance and the purpose of the alliance, the purpose of the alliance was to bring technology partners together and to bring an alliance which builds and competes and is able to compete at least with some of the centralized entities in the technology and building the tech stack and actually putting it together, and also bringing the top tokenomics together. So we bring communities together. We have a much bigger community which can have the products where we can scale. So that's the background to the alliance. We had the three core members, which was Fetch, Singularity, and Ocean. Ocean, I think, was probably the smallest one in terms of market cap, and has had probably the smallest tech stack, which was more concerning the data side, and Fetch was the agentic AI side, and we were doing Singularity was more towards building these models, which can help improve the large language models or any other machine learning model. So that's kind of the tech stack. So now let's come to where we are today, which is where Ocean, in June, in middle of June time, we saw some activity. So we had the bridges, as you all know. In bridges, everybody was open to convert the tokens, and the conversion was the indication that you kind of merged into the ASI Alliance and you joined the community of Alliance and the ASI community. We've been building technology, and we still are building technology. So first thing I want to reassure is there is no specific or particularly anything that dramatic which is going to happen to our development plans. We have been delivering, as you all know, quite rapidly. We've been iterating rapidly, and we're growing user base quite rapidly. Actually, I'm sure you guys have used ASI1. If not, then you should. But coming back to the kind of sequence of events, and I think community has already been pointing this out, so I'm going to take it head on. In June, Ocean had informed us that they had these community tokens which were going to be distributed to the community over 10 years. But in June, we suddenly saw a spike of the conversion of roughly, I think it's around 400 to 500 million Ocean tokens got converted. And that's quite, as you all know, in crypto space, it's quite scary when something like that happens. You think somebody's got hacked or something has happened in a bad way. We kind of approached the Ocean Foundation, and we kind of requested some information as to making sure that everything was okay. This didn't appear to be a normal transaction because it was just too large, and it was from the community fund, which we expected Ocean community to slowly convert into the Fetch community. And these were rewards, so they were not in community wallets as such. They were rewards to be distributed, and as they got distributed, they were going to be converted. So we queried that, and I think not some good answers came out. Some of them I can tell you, which are okay to tell you, but some are legally I'm bound not to disclose too much. So I think we need to just absorb that a little bit, which is the community rewards tokens, which were committed to the community, were converted in bulk. And when we queried the foundation, we had some interesting responses, which I can't divulge into, but it would feel, and I think this is also part of the information that is out in public because some of the community members have already done the work. The tokens were then distributed and dispersed to multiple wallets, which again to us signaled some problem, and we felt that this is a bit disingenuous and something is not right. So we kind of took some steps to investigate more, and we wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And in the meantime, we business was usual. We're still developing. We're still doing what we need to be doing. We felt there was not much technological participation coming from Ocean. We again queried that. This has been the problem for the last six to 8 months. But anyway, that kind of resulted in some questioning and some possibility of a legal action, because we wanted to be disclosed that if this is now FET and ASI community, we wanted to know that these tokens were being distributed in the right way. And that actually, unfortunately, had triggered this action from Ocean, whereby they unilaterally decided to exit the alliance. We're not that upset about it, because, to be fair, the technological participation, as the community would have already seen, is very limited, and we're quite happy and we're quite strong in actually where we're going. Our roadmap is looking stronger. Our product is coming out to the market. People are using it. We're about to release a couple of new other products, as you will see in the next couple of days. So that's kind of the overall picture. We are taking kind of steps to figure out what the tokenomics looks after this. There is still a bridge which is still open, and we still there is some tokens there. We monitoring the situation. We're taking some legal advice, and we are dealing with some interesting movements of tokens, which is to some Cayman Island organization. And it would appear that Bruce and Trent, who are the CEOs and founders of Ocean, at the moment, I mean, I welcome them to come and speak in public, but they haven't done so. They haven't even given us the opportunity to speak to them to find out what's going on. But in the meantime, we monitor the situation closely, and we take legal advice as to how and what the community reward tokens kind of are heading to. So that's kind of the whole picture, but I just want to kind of come back and give you what's happening. So tech development, no issues. We're going ahead. We're doing what we need to do. The community is strong. We're developing the products. They're coming. Our revenues are starting to increase and improve. Our user base is increasing and improving, and I encourage the community, if you haven't used any of the products, please do. We deal with this situation. It's not a big deal. It's as I said, it's the smallest part of the alliance, and I'm hoping there is a sensible reasoning behind it. Not that I'm aware of it, but and as I said, some parts which community has already picked on, I'm not going to hide behind anything. I am dealing with it in the direct way, in the sense that, yes, we have seen some token movements which are not correct and not done in the right way, and we feel it's been taken away from the community, but I can't go any further than that to say anything more. So hopefully that clarifies.
In a lot of ways, this is music to the communities here. And
so we'll leave that there. We really just wanted to update people on the situation. It's one that affects all the ASI token holders and the other ecosystems. Last little bit of news to finish on some positive things. And I want to know your comments on all this in the comment section. Last little bit of news to sort of finish things off on. This is from 21 Shares. We've interviewed the president of 21 Shares a couple of times now. Great guy, Duncan. FET is on its way. The largest ETP provider in Europe, now offering a FET ETF. Or ETP, as it will be in Europe. Eventually you will get a FET ETF likely in the United States. So some good news to follow some bad news, some turbulence. We'll get through this. I still think that the idea of a kind of decentralized, crypto-enabled AI platform is a huge one, potentially a multi-billion-dollar one. That hasn't changed at all. There's just turbulence, and I think we all knew that there was going to be some turbulence, given the kind of way that ASI was formed with this kind of conglomerate of multiple different crypto projects. It was always going to be potential landmines, and I think this is one that's been uncovered. That's it from me, guys. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. We had to report on this, and I'll see you all in the next one.